Go ahead.
So you want me to pay you $30 million to play 30 games? Hell no.
Right.
No. 80 games is fine because I did it. Jerry West did it. Kareem did it. Magic did it. Bird did it. Bernard King, like all the great legends before us did it.
You play basketball 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, right? That's your job. That's what you get paid to do as an NBA player. What are you doing the other 21 hours? I mean, to me, that's when you should be preparing for your next day of work.
The NBA just got absolutely rocked by something nobody saw coming. Shaquille O'Neal dropped a bombshell so powerful it sent shockwaves through the entire league, exposing what he calls the fake hustle sitting at the core of today's basketball culture. When the dust settled, LeBron James and Kevin Durant were caught in a crossfire, trying to laugh off a truth bomb that hit them square in the face. What makes this even wilder? The timing? Because right as Shaq's calling out players to actually show up and compete, LeBron and KD are hosting a podcast where they're mocking the very legends who built the league they profit from, disrespecting the foundation that gave them their billion-dollar lifestyles. You cannot make this up. It all started when Shaq was asked a straightforward question about load management, how players skip games to protect their bodies. His answer? Raw, unfiltered, and straight from the heart. So you want me to pay you $30 million to play 30 games? Hell no. Boom. You could feel decades of frustration pouring out in that single line. Then he went even deeper, shouting out the real warriors, Jerry West, who played through injuries that would sideline today's players for half a season. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, grinding through brutal campaigns with no fancy recovery tech or private chefs. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird going to war night after night, while earning less than what bench players make now.
Garth Gilmore told me one time, he played for Chicago, he said, if you expect to play a long time in this league, you better quit mopping up the floor. And I thought, well, he's crazy because that's what basketball is all about.
Bird takes it away from Wilkins, goes to the floor and gets it up ahead.
We come to practice, he's on one leg. Like he was hurt the second year, he was on one leg the whole year and played 82 games. Wow. And so he practiced every day and he played every game on one leg. And so he's like, man, MJ, why don't you just sit up? How can I be the leader of the team and sit out and y'all going through all the credit? I gotta be there.
I twist my ankle and I had a teammate, David Greenwood. He says, you twist your ankle, young fella, come over and sit with me. This is, you need to. I said, no, man, I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to make an impact.
It might not be in the team's best interest, in your best interest, to play all 82. Is that something you thought about at all since you made the goal?
That's a goal, but yeah, we'll see.
I'm available to go and be in the pro. If OBJ shows up, he might score 100.
These are the Warriors who built the NBA empire. And when someone suggested maybe the season has too many games, Shaq's answer cut like a blade. No, if we had to do it, they have to do it. Translation? Stop complaining about playing basketball when you're being paid generational wealth to do it. The old legends faced bare-bones medicine, cramped flights, and paychecks that wouldn't even cover a modern player's car lease. But they showed up every single night. No excuses, no drama, no pity parties.
You play basketball 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, right? That's your job. That's what you get paid to do as an NBA player. What are you doing the other 21 hours? I mean, to me, that's when you should be preparing for your next day of work.
Then the pushback came fast. Draymond Green jumped in defending the sit-out culture, acting like skipping games is smart strategy. Austin Rivers tried the usual spin, laughing it off with, that's ridiculous. The older guys played all the games, that's cool. And now they walk around and their knees touch. Really? That's the excuse? Acting like being too rich to play is somehow self-care? That's the mindset Shaq was flaming. The millionaire pity act. Modern players hiding behind body preservation, while fans spend half their paychecks just to see them. Like being paid $50 million a year to play basketball is some kind of burden.
This rest stuff just drives me crazy. You're playing basketball for a living, okay? I understand if you're working in a coal mine that you may need a rest day after it. You're playing basketball.
Even Nikola Jokic got caught slipping. When asked about mandatory games, he shrugged and said,
I mean, definitely forcing players to play. We saw what happened with the Joel, but it's something that probably league wants to I don't know.
Translation? He's admitting he only wants to play when he feels like it. Wild, right? That's exactly what Shaq's calling out. The new wave of entitlement. Players living large off contracts that could bankroll entire cities, yet complaining about too much basketball. The average NBA salary just hit $10 million this season, and max deals are pushing close to $60 million. Meanwhile, fans show up hoping to see their heroes, only to find out their favorite players are sitting out healthy. It's like paying for front row concert seats and the artist decides they're too tired to perform. But the story doesn't stop there, it explodes. Because right as Shaq's laying down the truth, LeBron James is hosting his Mind the Game podcast with Kevin Durant and Steve Nash. And what do? Take shots at the GOAT himself, Michael Jordan. Durant starts musing. You're 10, 12 years in, you've got 4 MVPs for championships, but do you still want to do this? Some people say, I want to go play baseball and then come back. Some people say, I'm going 22 straight. And LeBron? Watch his face. That smirk, that little laugh. They weren't even trying to hide it. They were comparing Jordan's baseball break to LeBron's never-ending grind, hinting that longevity beats dominance. A sly jab dressed up as conversation. Then LeBron hits the line that says it all. It's just basketball at the end of the day. Just basketball? After everything the legends built? That's the difference right there. The old school Warriors played like the game was their life. Now the new era treats it like a casual hobby. The divide couldn't be clearer. And Shaq's words didn't just start a conversation. They started a revolution. It's just basketball. Really, think about the nerve it takes to say that. This is a man who turned the game into $1 billion empire, who went from a kid in Akron to one of the most powerful figures on the planet, all because of basketball. And now he's brushing it off like it's some casual hobby? Come on. Michael Jordan would have never said that. When MJ talked about basketball, you could feel the fire in his voice. He once said he played the game 110% every single night because to him it wasn't just a job or a brand. It was his identity. Basketball was his obsession, his escape, his entire purpose. Every dribble, every shot, every breath, it was war for him.
But you have to really play hard. Does that hurt you physically?
No, because when I play hard all the time. You know, there's no turn it on here, turn it off here. It's just 110% all the time.
To have a long career, that's the goal, to be in the league for 20 years. That's the goal.
You know, it's all about winning championships and winning.
And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
But LeBron didn't stop there. He went straight at Jordan's legacy, claiming that the triangle offense wouldn't even work today because the modern game is too advanced. Basically saying his generation is smarter, stronger, and more evolved. What he's really saying is that today's players face tougher battles, more complex systems, better athletes. But that's not respect. That's revisionism. Then came the moment of truth. LeBron questioned why people still talk about championships so much, saying, I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the be-all, end-all of everything. Wait, what? This is coming from the same guy who built super teams to chase rings. He joined Miami with Wade and Bosh, dragged stars to Cleveland, and bailed to LA when things got hard. Now that he can't catch Jordan's 6 rings, he suddenly wants to change the rules of greatness? Please. It's simple. He's trying to rewrite the scoreboard. When the numbers don't go your way, you shift the narrative. That's exactly what he's doing. Turning the GOAT debate into a conversation about longevity instead of dominance, about sustained greatness instead of pure winning.
All right, Laker Nerd asks, why is the triangle offense less utilized in today's game?
To try to run the triangle offense right now, it'd be very challenging just because how the game is played and also how defense is covering.
10 to shoot. Jake going right to the rack. No defensive communication.
You play basketball 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, right? That's your job. That's what you get paid to do as an NBA player. What are you doing the other 21 hours? I mean, to me, that's when you should be preparing for your next day of work.
Why is ring culture so much more prevalent in the NBA than in other sports?
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the all be all of everything.
Like you mentioned a little bit about today's game, because we had Club on here and he talked about load management. He said, I don't know what the hell that is. Where is it going? And that's number one. And number two, how do we get it back?
Even for me, I love the NBA game, but then I turn on to a game, right? And then the stars are not playing because of Lowe's management. It's hurting the game.
Larry Bird once told a story that captures the difference between eras perfectly. Artis Gilmore told him, if you want to last in the league, stop diving for every loose ball. And Bird looked at him like he was crazy. Because to Bird, that was basketball. Diving for every possession, hustling until your body gave out. Bird knew something LeBron and Durant just don't get. The game isn't about preserving yourself for year 20. It's about emptying the tank every single night. That's why Bird only lasted 13 seasons. Why Jordan played 13 full campaigns. They burned out chasing glory, not coasting toward retirement. They played through pain, sacrificed everything for banners, not brands. Now LeBron's already hinting at taking more load management. When asked if 82 games is still realistic, he said, that's a goal, but we'll see. Translation? Expect more rest days. He's planting the seeds early so no one questions it when he starts skipping games. Meanwhile, Jordan saw things differently. He used to say, you play basketball 3 hours a day, that's your job. What are you doing the other 21 hours? That's the mindset difference. Jordan understood something today's stars refuse to grasp. Being in the NBA isn't a burden, it's a privilege. You're paid millions to play a game fans would kill just to watch. The least you could do is show up. And MJ lived by that. He said he wanted to impress the guy in the top row, the one who probably spent money he didn't have just to see him play. He even cared about the fans who booed him. When asked if that bothered him, he said, absolutely. I know he's probably yelling at me. I want to shut him up with my performance. That's pride. That's heart. Even players from the next generation like Tracy McGrady got it. He once said, there's no way I was taking load management when Kobe, AI, Paul Pierce, or Vince came to my building. McGrady knew skipping those matchups would have been a slap in the face to the game, to the fans, and to himself. That's the respect for competition that's missing today. And here's the part Durant and LeBron hope you never bring up, that so-called baseball jab. When KD said some people go play baseball with that smirk, he wasn't just throwing shade. He was mocking one of the most painful chapters in sports history. Michael Jordan didn't walk away because he was bored. His father was murdered on July 23, 1993. James Jordan stopped at a rest area to rest his eyes, and 2 teenagers shot him, stole his car, and left his body in a swamp. The man who guided MJ, who believed in him, who watched him rise to the top, was taken away brutally.
Couldn't believe that an NBA player could make $1 million. And now these guys are so lucky and blessed, and they can't play basketball 3 or 4 days a week. And I know they hide behind all the analytical bullshit from their agents and people like that. What they're really trying to do is extend their career. The way the money's been and going, it depends on who you are. You're going to be able to make another 50, 70, $100 million and probably more going forward if you can extend your career 2 or 3 years.
So what did Michael do? He stepped away from basketball to honor his father's dream that his son would one day play baseball. Imagine that. At the peak of his power, just after winning his 3rd straight title, he walked away, not for fame, not for money, but for love and grief. So when Durant smirks and says some people go play baseball and LeBron laughs along, they're not joking, they're disrespecting one of the rawest, most human moments in sports history. And let's not forget, Jordan didn't quit after losing. He didn't retire after choking or getting swept. He left on top. After completing a 3-peat, something even Magic, Bird, and Isaiah Thomas never did. He walked away a champion, still grieving his father, still carrying the weight of that pain, and still giving everything he had left to the game his dad loved. That's what separates Michael Jordan from everyone else. He didn't just play basketball. He lived it. He bled for it, and he honored it. While others play for stats and legacy, Jordan played for something real. The irony here is wild, almost too perfect. The guys criticizing Michael Jordan are the same ones guilty of everything. Now compare that to LeBron and Durant combined. Nearly 40 seasons between them, 4 decades of basketball. Their combined stats: 6 championships, 5 MVPs, 6 finals MVPs, 5 scoring titles. Oh, and only 5 total all-defensive first-team selections between them. So after almost 3 times of playing time, they still couldn't match what Jordan did in barely a decade. Double the years, half the dominance. Fast forward to October 2025. Michael Jordan sits down on NBC's Insights to Excellence series, and he's asked about load management. And what does he say? Straight up truth. It shouldn't be needed. First and foremost, I never wanted to miss games because fans worked hard for those tickets. I wanted to impress that person way up top who probably spent money they couldn't afford. That's pure heart. Jordan respected every fan in the arena, even the ones booing him. He once said, "I know he's probably yelling at me. I want to shut him up." He saw haters as fuel, not noise. He thrived on it. He even brought up the legendary 1997 flu game. Game 5 of the NBA Finals against the Utah Jazz. Jordan was violently ill, fever, chills, barely able to stand. He skipped warm-ups entirely, then dropped 38 points. Chicago won, and after the buzzer, he collapsed into Scottie Pippen's arms, completely drained. That wasn't just a game. That was willpower made visible. When asked why he did it, Jordan said, "I was going to find a way out there, even as a decoy." Once you're competing, you never know what happens. The emotions, the situation, the team's need, all of that catapulted me to gut it out. That's the DNA of a true competitor. Jordan played all 82 games 6 different times, and at least 80 games in 9 seasons. The only times he didn't? When he broke his foot, when he returned mid-season, and during his final years in Washington. Meanwhile, today's stars are bragging about playing 60 games and calling it commitment. It got so bad that the NBA had to step in and create a rule. Players must play at least 65 games to qualify for MVP or All-NBA honors. Imagine that, grown men needing a rule just to show up for work. The league finally admitted what fans have known all along. The product's suffering because the stars won't play. And Jordan? He'd never need a rule to tell him to compete. He didn't just play basketball. He lived it, breathed it, and bled for it. That's what separates a legend from a brand. Players keep sitting out, stacking excuses, and acting like showing up is optional. Now, the gap between generations has never been this wide. Back then, Jordan's era believed in honoring the game, in respecting the fans who made everything possible, in giving their all every single night. No matter the pain, the travel, or the pressure. Today's stars? They believe in body preservation, career extension, and maximizing earnings. It's not about love for the game anymore. It's about protecting the brand. Sure, science says rest helps recovery. And yeah, players today are bigger, faster, and more athletic. But let's not pretend that makes it tougher. Jordan's era faced real contact, hand checks, elbows, flagrant fouls. Every night they got knocked to the floor, wiped the blood, and got back up, ready to battle. Meanwhile, today's players have private chefs, custom recovery chambers, personal masseuses, and still complain like the grind's too much. It's crazy. Shaq's generation built this league brick by brick. They turned basketball into a global empire. They fought for better pay, better travel, better treatment. And now these modern players are living off that legacy, cashing those massive checks while acting like the grind's beneath them. Every advantage imaginable, yet somehow more complaining than ever. And here's the kicker. Studies have proven that load management doesn't even work. The NBA's own research found no link between sitting games and fewer injuries. So why do they keep doing it? Simple. It's not about science. It's about comfort. It's about not feeling like competing. That's what Shaq called out. The soft mindset dressed up as smart strategy. So yeah, Shaquille O'Neal just put LeBron James and Kevin Durant on blast. Not just for skipping games, but for exposing what's wrong with modern basketball. He reminded the world what Real legends stood for, what true competitors embodied. Shaq, Jordan, Bird, Magic. They didn't make excuses. They didn't skip games for personal maintenance days. And they sure as hell didn't laugh about tragedies for podcast content. They respected the game. They respected you, the fans who pay their salaries and fill those arenas. Meanwhile, LeBron and KD duck smoke every time things get rough. They run to form super teams when they can't carry one alone. They sit when they're tired, mock the greatest player ever, and then act like longevity with fewer wins makes them greater. Is delusion dressed as confidence? This debate isn't going anywhere, but one truth is rock solid. When it comes to dedication, respect, and love for the game, Shaq and Jordan are on one side of history, while LeBron and Durant stand far on the other. And no amount of podcasts or PR spin can change that. If you think Shaq just said what everyone's been too scared to admit, hit that like button. Drop a comment with your take. Who really honors the game today? And if you're ready for more unfiltered truth about what's really happening in basketball, make sure to subscribe, share, and stay tuned. Because this story is just getting started.